to the launch of Goodbye Busy, Hello Happy. My name is Amy Kennedy. I want to begin today by acknowledging the Ngunnawal people, traditional custodians of the land in which I speak today, and pay my respects to elders, past, present, and emerging. I'd also like to pay my respects to any Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander peoples here today. My name is Amy Kennedy. I'm a professional organiser, a coach, a trainer, workshop facilitator, and all-round educator and support for people who are wanting to get a little bit more organised in their life and reclaim their time and space within their home. I'm also extremely excited to announce that I am an author of Goodbye Busy, and it's a brilliant, so exciting collaboration to be a part of. I'm also a founder of a professional organising and decluttering service in Canberra called the Organising Bee, and I've been supporting families to organise their homes through the Organising Bee since 2015. I devote my professional life to supporting others to regain the organisation, regain their life, regain the time, regain the space, move from a space of disorganisation to functional organisation in whatever form that may mean. So sometimes that's one-on-one hands-on support. For others, it's just form of coaching or consultation. And for others, it's in the form of training and education. All of my clients have a very similar thread. They're in a space of major overwhelm. They feel chaotic. Their home is disorganized or not as organized as they'd like it to be or know it could be. Many of my clients are neurodivergent, and others have simply had some form of trauma or major life event that has rocked their world and changed their life for quite a long period of time. And they know what it feels like to be organised, that they can be organised. They would describe themselves as an organised person, but for some reason, every strategy that worked in their former life no longer works for them. And so I am that bridge to support my clients to return to that organised life or create an organised life that they desire. So, as I mentioned, I'm so excited to be an author of Goodbye Busy. It's such a wonderful, brilliant book, and it's a book that I believe that every woman or person out there who is feeling a little bit overwhelmed, a little bit stressed, a little bit busier in life than they'd like to be, to take the time to sit down and read this book. It's a collaboration of some really wonderful, amazing women who share their stories, their life experiences of burnout, of overwhelm, of stress, combined with some expert tips to inspire you to take some time to look at your life and, to break that cycle of busy and create time and space for happy in your life. So my chapter is chapter 2. And it's focusing all around the concept of designing a home that supports you. The chapter itself is titled, Your Home is Your Sanctuary. I hope you enjoy it. So I want to talk a little bit today about some of the concepts in the chapter. So your home is your sanctuary. So it's really around designing or organising a home that supports you and functions in the way that you need for your family, for you personally, for your needs and your lifestyle. So I want to focus the presentation today around some key concepts that I believe you need to look at when you're designing a home to support you. So we're going to start off with some goals and visions, looking at the idea of simplification. I'm going to introduce a concept that I speak to my clients a lot with, which I call the time equation. I'm going to look at a little bit about less is more, some tailored systems, and my thoughts on storage. So I'm going to read a little excerpt from my chapter, but before I do, I want you to understand a few thoughts of where I'm coming from. So I want you to understand that organizing is a learned skill. And like any skill, it takes practice and years to master. Yes, of course, there are people who are born organized, and that is their life passion, and that is everything that makes them whole. Or not everything, but it's central to who they are as a person. But the majority of us have been taught how to become organized, or how to structure our day, or how to organize our belongings throughout our life. So whether that be our parents through our early childhood, through our educators at school and preschool, or whether it be other networks and people within our wider community and family of friends, usually somewhere we've learnt the skill along the way. And with that, there is not one right way to organise a space or become organised. Well, there is a right way. The right way is the way that works for you personally. So when I talk about organisation, where the definition that I'm referring to is to arrange things in an ordered way and to give them structure, and to organise things so that they can be easily found and very quickly and easily. So they're the key words, be found easily and found quickly. And so that's really fundamental to my organising service and my organising philosophy and belief, is that there's the key focus on functionality. So I'm not focusing on tidiness or perfection, or even the aesthetics and what the baskets look like, or what the containers look like, or whether or not you've got labeling or beautiful script font in your vinyl cut lettering. Those are not important factors. Well, they are factors, but they're not the most important factor when organising any space. They're just one small little tiny key in the whole puzzle. So when I'm looking at organisation, we're looking at building systems that are functional and maintainable for you personally and for your family or whoever else is living in the home or using the space that you're organising, with respect to your personal lifestyle needs and your own thought processes and the way that just your brain and everything just generally thinks. So I want now to read a little excerpt from this wonderful, beautiful book, Goodbye Busy, Hello Happy. So before I do, I just want you to keep in mind those thoughts about the functionality. We're not looking at perfection. We're not looking at a showroom tidy house. We're just looking for functionality. Now I want you to close your eyes and imagine yourself in this scenario. Think about a morning where you don't need to make any decisions. You wake up and put on your favourite slippers. You wash and prepare yourself for the day with products that nourish and suit your skin and leave you feeling good or beautiful. The products that you've tried along the way that didn't feel right were discarded the moment you realised they weren't right for you. There's no trigger of wasted money or guilt of an unused product that deep down you know that you're never going to use. You open your wardrobe and you can see everything that you own. You pull out any outfit. You don't need to spend any time thinking about what you'll wear today. It doesn't really matter which items you choose, as you know that everything in your wardrobe works well with each other is flattering and fits you perfectly. You no longer put up with uncomfortable or unflattering clothing. You only wear the things that are comfortable and make you feel good every single day. You go to the kitchen. You make a cup of coffee or tea and take joy in drinking out of your favorite mug. And you eat your breakfast using your favorite bowls and plates. You're using the good stuff normally reserved for special celebrations, and it makes you feel just a little bit special. You get the kids ready for school without fuss. You're not feeling the anxious pressure you often feel when time is ticking, with the knowledge that you need to get out the door quickly to ensure that you're not late. You are calm and you are happy. As you leave your home, you put on your favourite shoes and quickly grab your handbag, your mobile phone, and your keys. The morning runs smoothly and calmly. You even have time to do your journaling or morning meditation if you chose to. You leave your home happy. Never at any point during the morning were you left looking for things that you've misplaced. Everything was in its rightful place. You didn't waste time making decisions on what to wear today, or what mug to use, or even what to eat for breakfast. You weren't hunting for your child's library book or a missing shoe. Your emotions remained regulated. Everything was there and ready to go. You are happy. Okay, to open your eyes now and return to the real world of this launch. Now, have a little think about that little excerpt there. What does it seem like to you? Does it sound a little bit far-fetched? Like a fantasy world? That's something that's only achievable for those with, millions of spare cash in their wallet. Someone who could hire, a full-time nanny or a butler or cleaning service regularly. Not something that an everyday Aussie could achieve. Yeah, maybe that's a fair comment. But I believe this scenario is achievable and is realistic for anyone. Again, I want to reiterate, we're not looking for perfection. We're not looking for a showroom, beautiful house. We're looking at functionality. We're looking at creating a home that supports you and works for you in the way that you need it to and simplifies your life. So how do we achieve this? So the first thing is it's about a considered and a tailored approach. So we're looking at vision. The first thing we really need to look at is your visions and goals. So your visions and goals are crucial. So you want to make sure that these are really clearly defined for both your home, so what you want your home, the vision for your home that you're creating and the goal that you're creating for your home, but also the vision for the lifestyle that you are living or wanting to live if you're not actually living life the way that you want to be living right now. So with these lifestyle considerations, you really want to think about what it is that you enjoy doing and what it is that you do daily. And these all need to be factored in to the organisation of your home. Likewise, you want to look at the functionality of the room and particular spaces within a room. So here I've got a collection of images of within a kitchen. So a kitchen is not just a kitchen. There are so many different functions that a kitchen can have for different families and different households. So as you can see, just some of these pictures here, some families simply use their kitchen to cook and prepare their meals, and that is all. Others use it as a space to gather and to entertain and to celebrate, to create bonds with, their family members as they learn and cook together. Others are using it as a space to work from home or just do simple life admin and paying bills, etc., or doing homework or numerous other things. So you really need to think about each room in your home and understand its true functionality. Just because the world says a kitchen is a space to cook meals doesn't mean that is exactly how you need to set up and organize your kitchen. You need to organize it in a way that functions for you. And with that consideration of the functionality, you've really got to consider who is using the space as well. Majority of the time, where there are multiple family members or individuals using a single space, and more commonly than not, the functionality of that space will differ for different people. Now, again, I've got a collection of images here of a living space, a lounge room, a living area. And again, depending on your family, your lifestyle, your needs, the functionality of the space will be different, and the needs of that space will be different for different people. So it might be an entertainment and play space for your family, where the parents and the older children and younger children are using it to watch TV. Meanwhile, you've got maybe some other people reading books or relaxing or playing games in that space. So you really need to understand who's using the space and for what function, so that you can ensure you've got adequate storage and organizing systems within that space to cater for all of those needs. So with that, the more functional a space is, the more maintainable the space will be. So when we really truly understand our vision and our goals for both our home and our life, and take into consideration, the functionality of the space and who will be using the space, you can use those as really strong tools to help you then establish really strong organizing systems which are maintainable and functional for you personally and for others in the family or whoever's living in your home. The next point that I'd like you to consider is the fact around simplifying or simplification. So you really need less than you think to make you happy. It's not the material things in life that make us happy. Research has found that it's the things that relate to our well-being that make us the happiest in life. So those are the things like our social connections, spending time with our loved ones, talking to people at work and all of those in our networks, even saying hello to strangers whilst you're waiting for the train or in the supermarket aisle. They all increase our level of happiness. Having time to do our passions, to create or to play or to exercise, whatever it is that you enjoy, having the actual time and energy to put towards those areas. And goes in hand with that, having good health and adequate sleep. So these are the things that really make us happiest in life. It's quite simple, our friends, doing things that we love and making sure that we're healthy and sleeping well. It's not actually, the shoes or the new house or the new car or having, a perfectly styled home. At least not for the long term. Yes, it's true that, the endorphin rush that you get from purchasing a new pair of shoes or the perfect handbag or outfit, yeah, that does make us happy. But it makes us happy for a short period of time. And once the endorphins have subsided and we've worn the outfit for a couple of times, then our emotions, our level of happiness goes back to what it was before the purchase. So we've really got to make sure that we've got setting up our home so that it can support those things that are making us happy. And with that comes the concept of the time equation. Now, I ask all of my clients to place higher emphasis on their own time. So I usually ask them to forget the monetary value of the item that they have got in question and view each item in their home with respect to time. So what do I mean by that? Well, it's time to use the item, time to get the item out, time to put the item away, time to wash the item, repair the item, maintain the item, service the item. And if you're not using that item, it might include time to move that item out of the way and put it somewhere else so you can actually get to the items that you are using. Now, that might be a lot of time and energy that you're putting towards something that you're not really using. Yes, you might have spent a lot of good hard-earned cash on that item, but it's a sunk cost. And if you're not using the item at all, it's not adding any value to your life at all. In fact, it actually is probably making your life more difficult and more complicated than it needs to be. So I really want you to think about, how much is your time worth? So you've probably heard this a million times before, but the more that you own, the more that you have, the more your home demands from you. That means there's more work for you to do. It takes you longer to clean your home. It takes a lot longer just to do every day-to-day tasks. There are so many more decisions that you need to make every day. Just getting dressed is a lot more decisions when you have a big, vast wardrobe compared to a minimal or a capsule wardrobe. So the less that you have, the less your home demands of you. And that means that you've got more time for the other things that make you happiest in life. And so paring back and removing the items from the home that you're not currently using helps you eliminate all that extra cleaning, all that extra housework, all that extra time in making decisions and everything that you may currently, depending on the level of organization in your home, spending each day. So yes, letting go is not easy at all. And that is the major area where I'm coaching my clients every day. There are many factors that influence our connections with our belongings, our history, our life experiences, our finance, our physical and our mental health, our personal situation, and they all impact our abilities to make decisions in these areas. But if it's important to you and the lifestyle change is important to you, letting go can make such a major and impactful change in your life. So I often hear people saying that they're concerned that if they let things go, they'll lose all the warmth or love or coziness or whatever it is in their house. But I'd say to disagree with that. Less is more. Less belongings doesn't mean less soul. It doesn't mean less heart. It doesn't mean less warmth. It means that you have the ability to see, enjoy, and appreciate all of the things that you genuinely love and value and care for every day without them being covered or sheltered by the things that you don't value as much. So inadvertently, you might just be making your life a little bit more complicated than it needs to be by holding on to so many different things. So letting go can help you release negative energies, bad memories from your past. No one needs to be holding on to or wanting to hold on to those things. They have no importance in your home or your lifestyle life today. So by letting go, it allows you to provide time and space for spontaneity, for fun, for quiet, for calm, for passions, whatever it is that you want out of your life. And so I'm not saying by any means you need to go down the path of a minimalist lifestyle. Well, if you'd like to, that's wonderful, but it's not necessary. You can have as much as you need or desire in your home until it gets to a point. And then if your belongings are then interrupting your ability to live your day-to-day life, or making it difficult for you to use the space in the way that you desire, it's not your home's not functioning in the way that you need it to, it's not, your life isn't feeling the way that you need it to because your home is hard to manage, then it might mean you have an excess problem. The next thing I want to discuss today with you is tailored systems. So organizing your home in a way that makes sense to you and to your family. So a good organizing system should simplify everyday tasks. It shouldn't increase the time it takes to put things away. And if you're finding that you do have systems in your home where it is increasing the time it takes to do things, then the system might be too complex for your needs, your personal needs, and it's likely that it's not going to be maintainable for the long term. So not all organizing systems or storage systems work well for everybody. And just because it works well for somebody else, maybe it's somebody you know, a family member, a mother-in-law, or somebody you don't know, someone that you've followed on social media, it doesn't automatically mean that it will work for you or your family. Likewise, you need to remember that just because something makes sense and works is makes sense logically and systematically to you, doesn't mean it's going to make sense to your children or your partner or other people in the home. So communication is vital in this area. So you want to think about your individual needs and those in the home that's using that particular space. So you want to consider your lifestyle, your individual preferences, your height, your physical health needs, your sensory and processing modalities and learning styles, that unique way your brain thinks. So a good example here is a bit about the visual processing modality or a sensory overload of information. So if you are an individual who commonly says that if it's out of sight, it's out of mind. If I can't see it, I forget to do it. Then options like baskets, drawers, cupboards, even wardrobes with big doors are probably not going to be the most functional organizing systems for you. You need to, well, it'd be more beneficial for you, depending on all of the other factors, to consider looking at systems that can provide you full visual of all of your things, yet still remain nice and neat and tidy. So we're looking at open shelves, we're looking at hooks, we're looking at utilizing all the vertical space on our walls. We're looking at baskets and in trays and desk organizers and lots of those different types of organizers. Clear baskets in the pantry. Whereas if the thought of being able to see everything creates anxiety for you, and that visual stimulus is way, way too much, then it's more likely that you need to have a wardrobe with closed cupboard doors. You need to have, utilize full drawers, full baskets that you can't see, that are not clear, that you can't see through them. So you really need to work with how your brain thinks and organizes and categorizes data. And also you want to look at your existing positive habits and routines that you've built over your lifetime and try to build on these and use these as ways to work and create systems in areas that aren't working quite as strong. Get the learning from those areas. The last thing I want to speak about today is storage. Now, in most cases with my clients over the last 7 years, we've found with nearly all of my clients, you need a lot less storage than you think. So containers and baskets are not always the answer. So there is the common trend out there that I need to get organized, and therefore step number 1 is going to the shops to buy some cute organizers, some baskets, some work containers, whatever it may be. I'll bring that home and then I'll organize my belongings neatly into them. But often this approach can actually create disorganization and chaos within the home because of one key step that has been overlooked. And that's the functionality of the space and understanding exactly what it is that you're wishing to store in the space and understanding the dimensions and how you use it and how you work. So if you consider all of those things, or your unique habits and all those, you're more likely, before you actually head to the shop, when you actually head to the shop to get them, you're able to buy the perfect piece that actually fits your needs perfectly, rather than just getting something that looks good but doesn't really function in the way that you need. So you really want to pare back your items to what you genuinely use every day, and those things that support your lifestyle. And supporting your lifestyle today, not supporting your lifestyle 10 years ago or 20 years ago, or not those things that you have been gifted and given that you're never going to use because they're not you. They're not things that you would ever use. So once you've pared back, you might find that you've actually got way too much storage. You've got an excess of containers and baskets. You've got empty shelves in your wardrobe or in your linen cupboard. So I just want to leave you with a few closing sentiments. So it takes a lot less time to have an organized life when you have pared back your belongings to what you truthfully use out each day. And that word truthfully is important. Have a really good think about, when you wash your linen and change your linen, what is your process? How many do you actually really need? And think about that in every category in your home. Think about your shoes, your handbags, your clothes, your towels, your books. And so a home that is considered and organized in a way that works for you and supports you in the way that you need can be truly life-changing. I've worked with so many women that have come to me that are so overwhelmed with life, that simply getting out of bed in the morning, getting their children to school, and maybe possibly getting themselves to work is all that they can physically handle for the day. 2, once I've worked with them and helped them to design a home that supports them and functions in a way that makes sense to them, that supports their lifestyle and their needs, amazing things. I've seen amazing things happen. These women have done remarkable things, have achieved remarkable things that they never thought would have been possible for them. Some of them have gone and started their own businesses. Others have returned to the workforce. Others have started studying. Others have taken on new passions and hobbies. And this is not talking about one or two clients here. I'm talking about the vast majority of the hundreds of clients that I've seen over the years. It truly can be life-changing. If your home is supporting you, it's less pressure on you, less decisions you need to make, and it can lead to a much happier life. Again, thank you for listening to my presentation today. My name is Amy Kennedy. I'm a professional organizer and coach. And if you've found anything today that you found interesting, or that you just want to understand a little bit more in depth about, have a question or a query, please feel free to contact me. There's a contact form through my website, and I'd be more than happy to chat or help you to work out and understand your goals and visions and look at how your home can be more functional and organized to meet your needs. Please, I hope you enjoy reading the chapters, reading the whole book, including my chapter in the book. And I hope that you have the most wonderful day. Thank you.